Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the Canada Sevens quarterfinals. This is the first one, Argentina versus Canada. Now, after a very impressive group stage for the Canadians, beating New Zealand and beating Samoa, they managed to advance to these quarterfinal playoff matches. They are up against Argentina, a side that narrowly missed out on a possible title in Dubai. They want redemption here. They want to go out, make a big impact, and they will be looking forward to the challenge for their starting lineup. It is Santiago Meyer, Luciano Gonzalez, Hermain Schultz, Marcos Maneta, also Palantini is there, Azutsuk, and Santiago Alvarez. For the starting lineup of Canada, it is Jack Carson, man who has been doing extremely well when it comes to scoring tries, Matt Owaru, an absolute tank when he runs it straight, Josiah Mora, Phil Burner, it is great to see his name there because he did have a bit of an injury yesterday, Sager, Cooper Coates, and Kratz to close out the starting side for the Canadians. So it is going to be Argentina kicking off from left to right. Now, I believe the winner of this contest will go on to face the winner of New Zealand versus Ireland. Now, I could be wrong with that statement, of course, but I believe that is the way that it works. That's going to be a big jump there from Josiah Moore, actually using Hermain Schultz as his launch pad. Manages to retain the ball here for the Canadians. Now, they did struggle in their final game of the day up against Australia. The coach said they didn't seem like they really were in the contest, but this is now going to be one that they have to make sure they get right because up against a side like Argentina, it's always very tricky to beat them, but if you can somehow get away with an early start, that is where the real momentum is going to be made. But nice bit of work here out wide for Carson, who, like I said, has already scored multiple tries throughout this Canada Sevens competition. Hi, Hamish again. Says it was there from Marnus. And same from Ryan as well. Welcome in, boys. Nice pass on the outside. Phil Burner, close to the touchline. They keep the play inside of the field of play. Cooper Coates, good shot on him. So far, Argentina yet to touch the ball. And Argentina, yep, now they've got it back. Just one touch. Luciano Gonzalez goes through and gets another try. It should be a good game, this, and nice that your pronunciations aren't too difficult for this one, says Elon, and that was quicker than I thought. Says Ryan there. Yeah, to be honest, Canada were doing well. They had the ball. They were passing it around. You make one mistake, Argentina say, yep, try time. Cheers. And that's exactly what Luciano Gonzalez did. They're just showing there Josiah Mora with the way that he leapt up to retain the kickoff. That was what created a bit of pressure on this Argentine defense, but they weren't budging. And in the end, Luciano Gonzalez got that ball back. Argentina scores it. And the type of side that could have 10% possession throughout a game and still win it by about 30 points. It's going to be beautifully done with the conversion, 7-0 after only 2 minutes. Series line breaks. Already we have seen 7 from Luciano Gonzalez, actually tied with Marcos Maneta, is in his team as well. The Argentines doing well throughout the early stages of Cape Town. Another knock on from Canada, and this is when the screws begin to come a little bit looser for the Canadians because they needed to be perfect for the start of this game to put the pressure on Argentina, to create opportunities for them to be able to attack. But now giving Argentina the ball here could be very dangerous. Definitely with the amount of time left. The Argies have always produced special outside backs. I loved Corleto. And 2007 World Cup ran and looked like a giraffe but effective, says Elon. So the closest thing to a giraffe that they've got in their team now is probably Hermain Schultz, just because he's the tallest player. But yeah, he's a dangerous man when he's got the ball in hand because that's the thing. The backs nowadays move like the forwards and the forwards move like the backs. So they have the strength of the forwards and the speed of the backs, if that makes sense. Nice running forward there, looking for the offload. A little bit risky. And it doesn't end up working out. Santiago Meyer took the risk, doesn't reap the reward. And Canada's defence able to hang on. So now they have got themselves a scrum feed. Like I mentioned, the first of 4 quarterfinals that we are going to be seeing in the Cape Town Sevens. The next one that has taken place is going to be the matchup between New Zealand and Ireland, followed by South Africa versus Australia. And then the game after that, it will be the last one, Fiji versus France. They are all back-to-back though, so be sure to strap yourselves in because we've got a bit of a up and down roller coaster of a ride coming up in Cape Town. Now the ball is out the back for Canada, only 10 metres out from their line, but a beautiful bit of stepping there, but the ball goes free out of Cooper Coates' hands, and now back into the hands of Argentina, who will look to attack. Palandini gives it off to Azutsuk. Crashes at the line. Cooper Coates, the man who has to make the tackle. Of course, he was the one who dropped that ball, so now wants to right his wrongs. Although it's a good chance for Argentina to once again strike. The ball was loose. Azutsuk has knocked it on. Oh. Neck roll by White. So it will actually be a penalty to Canada. Now, we did see a neck roll given as a yellow card yesterday. We have got Canada. This is insane. Says Elon, the New Zealand Ireland game is going to be close. What do you think? I believe so too. And it's one of those ones, I say it every time, but anytime Ireland play New Zealand, normally it's when they've built momentum. And like, this is their best chance to beat them. To be honest, New Zealand have never had so many losses in terms of their group stage to who they've lost to then go up against the Irish, who are in full swing, if that makes sense. It's kind of like a weird, like, reversal. That is not straight from Canada at line-out time as Cheika's still coaching Argie. Out of interest, he is. I think he's locked in till about 2027 as well for Michael Cheika. So committed to the Pumas and committed to trying to make them the best side possible. Yeah, unfortunately just not straight enough from the Canadians. Phil Burner, I don't think he helped himself because he actually went across the gap in the line-out, which made it look even wider than it was. Argentina won their past 6 of the 8. The past 6 and 8 of the past 9 up against the Canadians. There we go, a little bit of a stat. So they have been on a bit of a roll up against this Canadian side. Luciano Gonzalez has just broken 3 tackles, gets his offload away to Marcos Maneta, who does score it out wide. Very nicely indeed. And that is the second try of the match now for Argentina. They are sitting 12 points to 0 up. And what do you think, or who do you think will win between South Africa and Australia? I think it's South Africa's game to lose. Definitely because the last time those two sides played in a quarter-final, South Africa were victorious 24 points to 7. Australia lost to the Kiwis by 30 points in their group stage, whereas you look at South Africa, and their only loss was to Ireland by a couple points. So, yeah, it's South Africa's game to lose in front of a home crowd. And if they can perform, they'll make their way through to the semis, where they'll either be playing France or Fiji. If they aren't able to perform, unfortunately, their Cape Town Sevens campaign may come to a close a lot earlier than the crowd want it to. And to be honest, that's going to really hurt sales of tickets. If South Africa make it to the final, the place is going to be packed. If South Africa aren't in the final, unfortunately, there will be a lot of empty seats. Canada Sevens doesn't seem to translate to 15s. Do they not produce big, hard forwards like Italy? Says Elon. Well, I think Canada Rugby in general for the union side of things is really struggling. They've had teams getting taken out of the MLR. They also missed out on qualification for the Rugby World Cup. And, that's a loose ball again for Argentina. This time knocked on will be the scrum feed with only 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Canada inside of their own 22. Will you go to the Perth Sevens? I will not be going to it, but I will be doing the commentary for it on the channel, like we have for all the other Sevens leagues. Like Perth's, it's a fair flight to get there. And I don't think we got the funding to be able to go to Perth to watch the Sevens at this point. So yeah, we'll be doing the live streams, watching along with it as we normally do. Now Carson, going to be feeding this ball in just on the halftime siren. How's the ref going? He's doing all right. I don't think he's done anything wrong in this game so far. And Canada will win, says Viliami. And they're currently 22 metres out from their own line. A late comeback would be very impressive from the Canadians. They managed to score 3 tries up against New Zealand, though, so we know they're not out of this contest as of yet. Over the ball. No, he was on the man, not the ball. Little bit of a counter-ruck there from Argentina. Azutsuk just enforces some physicality on Carson, and it means that they get themselves now their 3rd try of the contest. Azutsuk manages to score it. It's 103rd career try. Going to make it a bit more of a mountain to climb for the Canadians, although we know there's a few mountains in Canada, so they've done it before. Can they do it again? Currently, Argentina are dominating Canada, says Manus. So yeah, to make it clear, whoever wins this game goes on, I believe. I'm just going to have a quick look at halftime as well, just to make sure that I'm giving you the right information, but I believe the winner of this game will go on to face the winner of the matchup between New Zealand and Ireland. So we'll quickly go knockouts. There we go. And we will go to the men's knockouts. And I should mention the semi-finals, they are going to be taking place at 1:56 a.m. New Zealand time. Viliami, a wise man, said, victory belongs to the bold, and for that I must respect you. Says Elon, very difficult to play catch-up against Los Pumas. They know how to hold on to a win, says Sean. And yeah, the game management side of things may come into it soon for Argentina. With a comfortable win like this, or comfortable lead like this, they may just sit there and go, we don't want to use up all of our energy. We'd rather go into that next contest up against New Zealand or Ireland fresh. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I actually predicted, though, in the Rugby Recap podcast, I said that Argentina would be knocked out of the competition by Ireland. Now, for that to happen, Ireland need to beat New Zealand. So that would be, of course, a big upset, but not impossible in Cape Town. We've seen some pretty big upsets already. Canada getting themselves a win over New Zealand just to start off the competition. France beating Fiji. Now we get to see those two sides go head-to-head again. Perhaps Fiji can get their redemption and start building their momentum again. But yeah, the semi-final, it is going to be between the winner of this game and Ireland versus New Zealand. Then that means that the winner of South Africa and Australia's contest will go on to face the winner of France versus Fiji. Thank you, Elon, says Billy Army. And yeah, the RGs, I should head to the showers and rest for the semis immediately, says Elon. So we might start to see a few changes being made, although they are the type of side that will want to keep this momentum flowing for a full 14 minutes rather than taking the risk of taking players off and then the team not having as much confidence going into their next games. How many of your predictions were spot on in the series, Hamish? Like 2 out of about 50. So, not good. Everyone, oh no, Marcos Maneta has landed extremely awkwardly on the back of his neck there. I think he's got up though, which is the main thing, but the ball is stripped by Josiah Mora. That is the last thing that they want though. An injury to Marcos Maneta could change the game, although rushing up there, not quite able to get it right, although it is now a knock-on from the Canadians. And thank you, Elon, says Viliami there. But yeah, I predicted New Zealand to beat Samoa, which did not happen. I predicted Argentina to beat Fiji, which did not happen. I predicted South Africa to beat Ireland, which did not happen. That's actually, luckily, Marcos Maneta has landed on his back there. I thought it was the back of the neck. He's been taken off the field now, though. The coach is saying, we do not want to risk that, Marcus. Get yourself off the field, son. Now, Palandini about to feed the ball in for Argentina. Looks like we've got a bit of a stoppage here, though, on this near side. Awaru always is a physical specimen in those scrums. He either forces you backwards or he forces you backwards too early so that you get the penalty. Now off to this left-hand side. Trying to find some space near the touchline. And to be fair, your predictions were sound. Are just weird results, says Elon. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I probably predicted, like in most of those games, I probably predicted who would normally win them, if that makes sense. It's just a competition that has had so many upsets. Like if I was to say at the start of the competition, Canada's going to beat New Zealand and Samoa, people might have thought I was crazy. I did actually on the podcast predict Canada would beat Australia. I said that I felt like Canada had an upset in them this competition. Sadly, I got it completely around the wrong way. So I feel like that's the perfect example of how bad I am at predictions, that I predicted Canada would do well, but predicted they would beat the one side that they didn't. So you can't win them all, unfortunately. And luckily, I do not bet on anything or else I'd have no money. But now another chance. Do you think that the semi-finals will be Argentina versus New Zealand, South Africa versus Fiji once again? Same semi-final matchups in Dubai last weekend. I feel like there's a very high probability that happens. Although if anyone wants to break those chains, I believe it would be probably France and Ireland. Nice kick behind here from the Canadians. Just waiting for that ball to bounce. It doesn't quite set up though the way that he would have liked. And Los Pumas need to be smart here, like you say, or like you said, to save their key players for the next one. Says Sean Lees. And yeah, that kickoff of Marcos Maneta landing on the back of his back, pretty much. Like, they realised in that moment that, okay, we need to take him off. Luciano Gonzalez, I believe, will be the next man to go off. Hermaine Schultz just having a breakaway run there for Argentina. That will be another try. And to be honest, he's another guy that I would probably take. Oh, don't do a big dive, mate. You're going to break yourself. He's just decided to have a big leap. He doesn't score many tries, which is why he is celebrating this one, his first in Cape Town. If there's one team in the history Thai sport I will never bet on, it's the Samoan Sevens team. About as unpredictable as a woman's mood, says Elon. No comment. And I saw Reed today, he was being cheeky, says Elon. You do always say that Reed is a cheeky boy, so that probably checks out. But nice try for Hermaine Schultz. The big dive slams it down. Big celebration from the Argentine supporters. We got a correction to women's with an A. And also, sorry, Canada, says a Viliami. But Korea tries. That is actually his 100th. So I can understand why there was a bigger dive than he would normally have. Sorry, Canada, says Viliami. Although, of course, they will still be playing in the 5th place playoff games that are just around the corner. Oh, taken beautifully by the Canadians there on the halfway line. Lachlan Kratz manages to clean it up. Now Thomas Isherwood, the man with the best mullet in sevens. Can they make the best comeback in sevens here? Big run for Canada, going straight through the referee's channel. Now Isherwood on to the left-hand side. Thought about passing out wide, but didn't decide to in the end. Sager taken out in the breakdown. Isherwood's done well to be able to play that one from the breakdown. Canada just not finding that gap in the Argentine defence, which is what so many sides have experienced. Fiji did extremely well up against the Argentines with the fact that they were able to score 3 tries. Oru tries the big fin, taken down by Azatsuk. Now Sager has to play halfback. Currently on the halfway line. This is probably about 10 phases back-to-back that they've made 10 metres if they're lucky, although now the space starting to open up. Oru taken down again. Out wide by Mare. And the breakdown stolen clean. Mare now going off to this left-hand side. In fact, it's right for Argentina. Beautiful short pass. Now it's a foot race here and gets through. Augustin Fraha will score another try. This has been an extremely one-sided affair. Canada, I think, used their big games up in the group stages. And now this one's slowly getting further and further away from their reach, but they have to make sure they don't drop their heads. They've already been able to make it to the quarterfinals, which was far more than a lot anticipated for this Canadian side. So next game that they will have will more than likely be at 3:08 a.m. And All Blacks, make sure no mistakes at the best, says Satendra. And of course, their game just around the corner up against the Irish. We will be covering that one on the channel as well, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. The conversion is good. 90 seconds remain, and Argentina have 33 points on the board. It's been the summary of the game. Anytime Canada have put together multiple phases in a row, Argentina steal it, and that very next phase, they score a try. Looking at highlights from day one and how Canada performed, I'd say this is a disappointing one for them. Yeah. Unfortunately, I think they were just on cloud 9 for their first 2 contests. That one hasn't gone the 10 metres. Now we'll go back to the halfway line for the Canadians, who more than likely will try and take this one quickly rather than taking the time of the scrum. Isherwood calling for it. Oh no, they will take the scrum. I feel like at this stage they've realised they could not win this game. So now it's more about trying to lure in a few more of the Argentine defenders so that the space opens up so that they are able to get rid of that 0 that they are currently sitting with. Match stats relatively even in terms of some of the numbers, although tackles, we've seen Argentina make 19 compared to the about 8, I think it was, of the Canadians. But Thomas Isherwood now to put that ball in. Big push. Canada get themselves the scrum. Do they want it again? No, instead they will take the quick tap. He wasn't on the mark though, and now he's frustrated. He's realised that could have been the opportunity for a good chance at some points. Every point counts. Says Sean Lee's exactly right. Even if it's 1 try here for the Canadians, just to come out of this game without 0 on the board will be a massive confidence booster for them. It's okay. Canada analyst, or at least you made it to the cup quarters. Exactly right. Like I said, they finished last week. I think they were 12th. So for them to be where they are here is pretty awesome. And they've got a chance of finishing as high as 5th. Now looping around pass out to Thomas Isherwood. Slammed down to the turf. Stewart, it will be another penalty going the way of the Canadians. They take the quick tap and now looking to charge down the wing. It was Lachlan Kratz gets the pass up. Currently Argentina's defence has not budged all throughout this contest, and I believe that will be the case going right to the final whistle as they have gone with a massive counter ruck there. Wide pass, is it forward? They say it's flat. And now wrestle close to the touchline, beautifully kept in by the Canadians. 40 metres out from the line, Owaru with the big clean out on Gaston Revol. Canada using up a bit more of the Argentine gas tank. This could actually be extremely strategic in favour of whoever plays them in the semi-finals, whether that be New Zealand or Ireland. They're having to make maybe about 10 more tackles than they would have liked. Having to run around a lot more. They now get the penalty. It's a great bit of work from Argentina. And now, quick tap, booting the ball out, 33-0 the end score in this contest. But we will now jump over to the next live stream, which is going to be Ireland versus New Zealand, ladies and gents. So I do thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all in a very short moment for that next quarter-finals match.